Hello, friends. Time for another Nailsin Ratings video upon, once again, a favorite subject, Doctor Who. We're still waiting for the premiere episode of the new female Doctor to be played by Jodie Whittaker. So we saw the scene of the Peter Capaldi's Doctor regenerate into Jodie's Doctor, and then she promptly fell out of the TARDIS. And boy, how's she going to get out of that one? We don't know. Boy, will she have to regenerate already? No. There's been quite a few behind-the-scenes shots of Jodie in her new outfit with her new companions in action around the TARDIS and all that. So somehow, some way, the Doctor will survive. And perhaps, you know, it's already been set. When David Tennant, his Doctor, was still in the process of regenerating and ended up losing his hand and managed to keep it for another show later on. It became very important. But his hand grew back because he was still filled with regeneration energy and all that, so he still had time to repair some damage like that. So theoretically, I suppose Jodie's Doctor literally hits the ground. What a mess. Would still be able to recover from that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, one of the things is what they might have wondered with the length of time that actors play the Doctor, and the standard seems to be about 3 years. For 3 seasons or series, as they call it in Britain, where most of them do the 3 years, whereas some, in the case of Eccleston, who was the first of these the new series of Doctor Who, only did 1, and so that's about 13 episodes he did, and that was it. This season, which I think is very wise on the BBC's part, and I think a lot of different television productions should copy it, they're only going to do 10 episodes. And that's probably for the best. A lot of these different, especially shows that have an ongoing arc and that sort of thing, if you go too far in the traditional, back in the old days where you'd have like 24 episodes or something like that, that's way too much, and it often involves filler episodes, which are boring and kind of stall the show. Procedural shows like Law and Order and that sort of thing, hey, that'd be fine. But for shows of action and adventure, and also shows that are supposed to go somewhere, like You Walking Dead, you got too many episodes, but I don't know that you can be saved at this point. But anyway, so with only 10 episodes, so someone thought, hey, I wonder, what exactly did Jodie sign up for? Is there a certain amount of time? And of course, I assume there would be. And she was approached about this, and she said, well, I'm not allowed to answer that. So that's a curious answer to this. I'm sure it's very true. I'm sure that he says, don't talk about the deals and stuff. I don't know if they flat out offer them, hey, are you available for 3 years to do this TV series? That's how many seasons we want you for, and we'll see where we go at the end of it. So it's possible maybe she did, and of course, whatever the stipulations are, they can always axe that and say, you're fired. No, if it's really bad or what have you. But then again, maybe not. Maybe she's only on for the season, and then they'll see how it works out and go from there. I don't know. How would you judge it? I mean, would you have to look at it overall after the season's completed, and you look back on it, and judge whether or not it scored well or not? Or because you've always got the problems with Doctor Who. You're supposed to have that regeneration episode. There's been a few examples where they didn't. Like the worst case was for the 6th Doctor into the 7th Doctor. They basically just dumped Colin Baker. That's a whole video I could do there. But poor Colin Baker just got screwed by his Doctor Who. He loves the character in the show. He's been a good guy, keeping up with the fans and whatnot, and of course doing the Big Finish audio drama, and his are very, very good. So another missed opportunity with a great Doctor we could have had if they had done him right. But he was just booted out, and then, oh crap, we forgot to do a regeneration scene. Hey, Colin, why don't you come back into East? No. So they didn't get to do it. So there you go. So kind of retroactively, they did scenes for Eccleston from the War Doctor and so forth. And then, of course, they did Paul McGann regenerating into John Hurt's War Doctor with a little, footage trickery here and there. But so what if you had a similar scenario where they're like really disappointed in Whittaker's performance after the 10 episodes? They said, well, we're going to let you go. Oh, wait. We need you to come back and do about, 5 minutes of footage for the first episode of the new Doctor Who. And she's like, no. Now, of course, you could be burning bridges if you had that kind of attitude, depending on what the situation is. But I don't know what that is. So it is a curious development, but it's also another thing that occurred to me, that it might have been something interesting that they might want to try to shake up the show, besides just, oh, we've changed the gender. Isn't that a great, wonderful thing? Well, I don't know. But one of the things about shows that when the Star Trek Discovery came out, there was rumors that they were thinking of doing a series where it's just a one-season story, and then the next season moves on, kind of in the style of Fargo and American Horror Story, where each season is completely new and different. The theme's basically the same. Like in case of Fargo, it's Fargo. But in Star Trek, it would have been Star Trek. It's in that universe, but it's a different ship. It's a different crew. It's a different, all that kind of thing, and different eras they could have covered. I don't know how far you could do that with Doctor Who, but with the regeneration aspect of the character, you could have different actors come in to play the role who are not willing to make a full, season or series commitment. So 10 episodes, yeah, I could swing that. So when the idea of a female Doctor Who was being bandied about, one of the actresses that kept coming up was Tilda Swinton. And so people were looking, oh, of course, she's got this androgynous look and everything. Oh, wouldn't that be a good transition between the men and to this new female incarnation? But the thing that struck me was that Tilda Swinton, I know her mostly from films, and she's in a lot of those. And I didn't know if she was the type would want to have a long-term commitment to a television series that might last for 3 years. So if the situation were like this, where, hey, you just do 10 episodes and then you're done, we'll regenerate at the end of it and what have you, whatever the story they come up with. And that could attract other talent that they otherwise wouldn't be able to get. So it's just an idea. I don't think that's what they're doing here. I don't know, obviously, what they signed her up for. Maybe it is just a one-season thing and to see what happens, because this is the first time they've had a female doctor, and it's, there's a lot of people not happy about that. So like it's a lot riding on it, and the ratings for Doctor Who have been pretty bad. It's been spiraling down the hole for quite some time. And so I don't know what they can do about. Well, obviously I do know you need to have better scripts. That's one of the worst parts about it, is glaringly obvious and pretty bad stories. And hopefully they'll give Jodie's Doctor something better than they've done previously, and that would go a long way to at least stabilize the show. Certainly the curiosity factor will be there, but will that survive long term? I don't know. But it is certainly interesting that, hey, I can't talk about that. Because, let's say they did sign her up for 3 years, and when the 3 years are up, she may be in an attitude of, yeah, I'll do another, and so that could be the case too. So interesting little tidbit there. It's a small little article or mention at the Radio Times, and I'll link in the description below to the original article. It's not much to it, but there it was an interesting little mention to ponder. So thanks for watching and listening, and please like and subscribe, and check out the descriptions below, even below this article on Jodie, for my stores filled with goodies for you. Say, friends, check out Nailsin Theater at sellfy.com/Nailsin. Yes, there you'll find my poor man Mystery Science Theater treatment of public domain movies that really deserve the treatment. Yes, you can head over there and check out the links to my trailers to such films on my YouTube channel. Yeah, you can preview them and then head over back to sellfy.com/Nailsin and purchase yourself some Mr. Nailsin treatments of movies. I'll be right there to guide you through it.